Hello, my name is Lilian Okibe. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be comparing locks with loose natural hair, and I'll be sharing my opinion on which one I think is better. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then please keep on watching. So before we go into this video, let me say that before I started my locks, I had healthy loose natural hair, and I did not start my locks because I was tired of having loose natural hair, or my loose natural hair was difficult to maintain, or it was damaged or anything like that. My loose natural hair journey was blissful. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I started locks because I wanted to have locks. I like the look of locks and I wanted to have it. So my perspective in this video is going to be coming from a positive angle on both sides. I've had a blissful loose natural hair journey, and I've also had a blissful lock journey so far. So we are going to be comparing the both of them from the perspective where it's I've had the best of both worlds, right? Versatility. And I know that this is one of the questions many people often ask me: are your locks going to be as versatile as your loose natural hair? When many people think about locks, they think about something that is like box braids, but that's not really. Locks are not like protective style in form of box braids per se. It could be like that if you're someone who likes to have your locks look a certain way all the time, but generally your locks are not going to be like box braids, right? So you know how when you go and install box braids, you have a certain look all the time. No matter how you try to flip your hair, you're going to have a certain look until you take down the box braids, right? That's not how locks are. Locks are very, very versatile. I feel like people who do not have locks, especially if you're someone who likes to have your locks, if you keep your locks full and thick as much as possible, right? There's so much that you can do with your locks, and I feel like many people do not really understand how versatile locks can be. Now, do people who have locks go ahead to showcase or exercise the versatility that comes with their locks? I feel like the answer to that question is no. It's like when you start locks, you just kind of get lazy. So even though your locks can do so many things, and you can style your locks in so many ways, and your locks can have so many looks, most people tend to be lazy when it comes to enjoying all the different things that you can do with your locks. So it's very common for you to find people with locks having a hairstyle, a certain style, all the time. Not because they can't really style their locks, but because they cannot be bothered, right? So locks are very, very, very versatile. You can do with your locks, for me now, I can do almost everything I could do with my loose natural hair with my locks. The only thing I can't do is obviously I cannot flat iron my locks, because that would just be damaging my hair and it's not going to look like a flat iron, right? So yeah, that's the only thing. And also you can do so many protective styles with extensions and the likes with locks. Even though it's not recommended, it's something that you can do. However, if I want to give a score and I want to say which is more versatile, locks or loose natural hair, I'm going to have to say loose natural hair, because with loose natural hair you can pull off so many things without necessarily damaging your hair. For example, you can install box braids on your loose natural hair as a protective style and you're going to be fine. While on the other hand, if you go ahead and install box braid with extensions on your locks, you stand the chance of damaging your locks in the process, right? But when it comes to styling, just styling your natural hair, almost everything that you can do with your loose natural hair without any form of extension, you can definitely do with locks. But if I have to choose, if I have to say which is more versatile, it's definitely loose natural hair. Wash days, how long and how tedious are wash days on both sides. Now we all know how wash days with loose natural hair can be, right? Now when I had loose natural hair, I feel like I mastered my hair to a point where my hair care was very simple, very basic. It was easy, and it did not actually take as long as most people with loose natural hair. However, even with that, even for the fact that my loose natural hair was easy, I did not spend so much time handling my loose natural hair on wash days, I still find that having locks cuts the time by half or more. It takes way less time to go through your wash day when you have locks than when you have loose natural hair. So I'm going to have to give it to Locs for this one. The next thing on our list is like your daily maintenance, like daily hair routine. How long does it take? Locs versus loose natural hair. I'm going to have to give it to Locs for this one. Like with Locs, you can just stand up and go, or like stand up, just spray some water, you know, to just moisturize, apply, maybe if you like to apply oil or whatever product you like to use, and go. Like, it's like you basically can get away with doing nothing to your locks. Now, the next thing we're going to be using to, you know, compare the two is products. How much products do you need? And like how much products in the sense that how much, like the quantity of products you need, and like the number of products you need to like maintain your hair and like just have healthy hair, whether you have locks or loose natural hair. Now, I'm going to have to give this to Locs. With Locs, you can get away with using like almost nothing. I know people who only use shampoo, like no leave-in conditioner, no oil, no butter, no nothing. They just use only shampoo on their locks, and they still manage to have hair on their head. If you try that with loose natural hair, that's like it's almost like it's going to be very difficult for you to manage your hair if you do not use products, right? The next is growth, because I know that that's something that many people are interested in. How easy is it going to be for you to see growth with loose hair versus with locks? Now, I'm going to have to give it to Locs for this one as well, because with Locs, even when you're not doing, you don't need to put in effort for you to see hair growth when you have locks. Now, noted, when you first start your lock journey, if you start with a lot of hair, like long hair, you're going to first experience a lot of shrinkage before your hair will start to grow. But as soon as your hair starts to grow, like it just starts to grow. Let me say that having locks get longer is not an issue. Having your hair get longer is not really an issue when you have locks, because it's something that just happens even when you're not paying attention to it. Hair grows really fast, and like it's more obvious. Hair growth is more obvious when you have locks than when you have loose natural hair. So next is volume, thickness, big hair, and all the likes. Which one are you going to have like more volume, more thickness, locks or loose natural hair? Now, I feel like this is kind of like dicey, because I find that many people in the lock community, they notice that they lose volume when they start locks. Like you can have someone who has like a full head of afro, like very big hair, but when they start their locks, like they lose all that volume and their hair is like just like flat on the scalp. Now, this is something that is common, but this is not something that has to be like that. Like personally for me, I feel like my hair has gotten thicker. My hair looks obviously thicker now that I have locks than when I had loose natural hair. Like it looks like I have more hair on my head now that I have locks than I had loose natural hair, and that's because I'm very cautious with like making sure that I'm not like overly, you know, doing stuff that push volume off my roots. I keep my roots thick and everything. That's something I teach. I share all my tips and everything step by step how I do that on in my online course. So if you're interested, I'll put the link down in the description box, and you can also find a link. If you click my name and go to my homepage, you find the link over there. So like I'm not going to dwell too much on that in this video, but this is something that is kind of like a 50-50, something that is common, but it doesn't have to be like that. So I'm going to use my own experience, because like I said, I'm giving you the perspective coming from a place where I have, if you're comparing the best of both worlds. So I had healthy, rich, loose natural hair, but I feel like now that I have locks, comparing healthy loose natural hair versus healthy locks, I feel like I have more thickness now with my locks than I had loose natural hair. So I'll give it to Locs for this one, because personally, but I know that for many people that is not the case, you know, because people are superly obsessed with like having a fresh retwist every time. So if you're someone like that, obviously you're going to lose volume. Next thing is shrinkage. How much shrinkage are you going to experience when you have locks versus when you have loose natural hair? Now, the answer to this, I'm going to have to say, is 50-50. So I'm going to give 1 point to locks and 1 point to loose hair, because I feel like when you have locks, the beginning stage of your locks journey, if you start with a lot of hair, you're going to see massive shrinkage, like shrinkage that you probably have never seen before with your loose natural hair. But as soon as you go through that phase, that beginning stage, you have almost no shrinkage, right? So your length is going to show more, and you're going to have less issues with shrinkage down the line, right? Meanwhile, for loose natural hair, you're going to always have to deal with shrinkage. So just because of that shrinkage that you're going to experience in the beginning stage, I'm going to feel like let's give it 1-1. Next point is pain, how much pain are you going to experience with locks versus with loose natural hair? I would say that it is 50-50 because when I had loose natural hair, I never used to put in tight hairstyles and everything like that, so I had zero pain. Now that I have locks, I don't do any tight hairstyle, I don't do tight retwist or anything like that, so I still have zero pain. But I know that for a lot of people, it's going to be, many people are going to experience more pain with locks than loose natural hair. In the lock community, especially down here in Nigeria, people believe that locks are painful because of the retwist and like interlocking and, you know, all the way people used to maintain their locks, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. You can retwist your locks without experiencing pain. You can interlock, you can use a crochet needle without experiencing pain. It doesn't have to be that way. Next is weight. How much weight are you going to experience with locks versus with loose natural hair? I'm going to have to say that generally locks are good. Your locks are going to be heavier than loose natural hair because you have more hair on your head. The concept of locks is that, you know, all those hair that sheds and or like breaks when you comb your hair when you have loose natural hair, when you detangle when you have loose natural hair. When you have locks, all that hair remains on your head. So technically you have more hair on your head. So that more hair will mean that if you're at all, you're going to like weigh the hair. It's going to be heavier, you know, with locks with the same length of hair, right? Locks are going to be heavier than loose natural hair, but it's not going to be heavy, so heavy that it's unbearable. If it's so heavy that it's unbearable, there's a high chance that you're maintaining your locks in such a way that you're not leaving enough hair at your roots to carry the weight of your hair. So if you're pushing all your hair off your roots, the surface area down at your roots is going to be small, and that's going to mean that your locks will exert more pressure on your roots and your hair is going to feel heavier. But if your roots are thick, the difference in weight is going to be negligible. The only time you're going to feel any form of weight is when your locks are wet, because you have water obviously, so it's going to like add to the weight. But other than that, you're not going to, the weight is going to be negligible if you keep your roots thick. Is acceptance, like how easily are people going to accept your hair? Loose natural hair versus locks. I'm going to have to give it to loose natural hair because I feel like now where we are right now, people are used to having loose natural hair. Most black women, even if you don't see the loose natural hair, even if they are wearing like weaves or like protective styles or things like that, there's a high chance that under that weave they have loose natural hair. So they understand loose natural hair, they understand the struggles that come with loose natural hair. And so like if you have issues with your hair, or like if you're having a bad hair day, people will understand more when you have loose natural hair, because like loose natural hair has gotten so popular that everyone is comfortable. Like for the most part, everyone is comfortable around loose natural hair. Unlike locks, locks are still relatively, it's not like locks are new. Locks have, you know, been here for a very long time, but like more and more people are starting to wear locks like on a regular, basis. Like you find more people having locks now, so it's gradually picking up, but it's not like where it should be. So there are many people right now who do not understand locks, you know, so especially when you're just starting out. So you're most likely going to receive more nasty comments about your hair when you have locks than when you have loose natural hair, because people don't really understand locks as much now. Next is beauty. How beautiful is your hair going to be? Loose natural hair versus locks. I'm going to have to give it 50-50 because I feel like both loose natural hair and locks are beautiful in their own way. I don't think anyone is more beautiful than the other, right? It just depends on the look you're going for, what look you want to have at a certain season of your life. Next thing is lint, issues with lint. I included this because I feel like this is very important if you have locks, right? When you have locks, lint is a big issue, especially now that we are in the cold season. This is like the winter in many parts of the world, so many people are going to have to wear a lot of cardigans, a lot of like coats and things like that, which can have a lot of lint. If you are wearing clothes that are linty, just know that a lot of the lint is going to go into your locks. Locks tend to attract lint, so lint is a big issue. But if you lose natural hair, lint is not such a big issue, because even if lint gets into your locks, when you wash it and when you comb and detangle your hair, the lint is going to go away. But getting lint out of locks is a little bit more complicated. So when it comes to Lint, I'm going to have to give it to Locs. No, sorry, loose natural hair for this one, because I feel like with loose natural hair, you don't really have to worry about Lint. But with Locs, Lint is a big issue that you have to prevent at all costs. Let's go to how expensive it is to maintain loose natural hair versus Locs. Locs are a lot cheaper to maintain, right? Locs are like, first off, let's talk about, if we are talking about products, because you don't need as much products in quantity and in number, you're going to spend a lot less when it comes to products, right? Even if you are a product junkie, like, you're going to spend a lot less when you have Locs than when you have loose natural hair. Also, when it comes to maintaining your hair, if you are doing your hair yourself, right, with loose natural hair, you're going to be spending more time. So time is money. So yeah, loose natural hair is more expensive than Locs, which is safer for your edges. Now, my answer for this is going to be a little bit controversial, because I know that many people believe that Locs are heavy, and so for that you're going to have issues. That if you have issues with your edges when you have Locs, it's going to make it worse. But having experienced the best of both worlds, Locs and loose natural hair, I feel like there's Locs or loose natural hair, no one is more damaging to the edges. Like, if you are someone who is always like maintaining, retwisting, interlocking, and you're doing it tight, obviously that's going to that's going to tell on your edges, right? But if you're someone who, even when you retwist, like for me, for example, even when I retwist my Locs, I do it in such a way that my roots still remain thick. So for me, even when I retwist, like, I do not put tension or like pressure on my edges. So I've come to see that my edges have flourished. I also have people's Locs that I maintain, a few people's Locs that I maintain. I've had a few of them who had issues with their edges before they started their Locs. Their edges have gotten so much better now that they have Locs than when they had loose natural hair. So I say this to say that no one is more damaging. Both of them are safe. Let me put it that way, depending on how you handle your hair. It all has to do with how you handle your hair, not necessarily whether you have Locs or loose natural hair. But I find that many people, because of like how they think Locs are supposed to look, and they're always steadily interlocking and like maintaining and crocheting and all the likes, people tend to have issues with their edges a lot more when they have Locs than when they have loose natural hair. But it's not necessarily the fact that they have Locs, but what they are doing because they have Locs. I don't know if that makes sense. Which one is more rewarding? Which one is going to, like, when you put in effort, which one are you going to see results faster? I'm going to have to give it to Locs for this one, because Locs don't require a lot of maintenance. Locs don't require a lot of attention. So just a little bit of attention that you give to your hair is going to show. If you can devote like 20 minutes or like, let me say 10 minutes a day to your Locs every single day, like, give yourself 2, 3, 4 months, it will show. You know. And with loose natural hair, taking good care of your hair will show as well, but you're going to need to put in a lot more effort for you to see obvious results as compared to Locs. So I'm going to have to give it to Locs for this one. So now I don't know the scores we have, but I'm going to put it on the screen. So from the scores, generally you can tell which one is better. But let me say that I don't think anyone is better overall in general. I feel like it all has to do with what season, what stage you are in your life, right? And which one is going to fit your lifestyle the most. Now for me, with the stage where I am right now, I am very, very busy. I have a business, a hair care business, where I sell hair products, you know. So I'm making the products, you know, I'm hands-on with like making the products, shipping, customer service, everything like that. Like, I'm active in all aspects of my business, you know, and that requires a lot of time. So anytime I can get is highly welcome. I also have a YouTube channel where I, you know, create content. I also have an online course where I, you know, address, you know, people who have questions, even though like the course is like pre-made, so the videos are already pre-recorded, but I'm still available to provide support to anyone who needs it. So I have to be, you know, present as regards to that, replying emails and things like that, and, you know, engaging with my students and things like that. So yeah. I need all the time I can get, and in addition to that, in addition to all of that I've just mentioned, my hair is part of my brand. My hair is part of my business, because all the things I create, all the things I sell, my online course is a Loc course, you know, my hair products that I sell, they are hair products that I create. So like my hair has to be on point, because if people are going to buy from me, they want to see that it works. And how are they going to see that it works? I am like the first ambassador of my brand. Apart from my student, apart from my customers, I'm like the first face that they see. So it will be kind of weird if my hair is damaged and then I'm selling something and saying that this can help you, even if it works, right? If I cannot show that it works from my own hair, then it's not going to be convincing, right? So I need to have something that, even though I am busy working on like the technical aspect of my business, I need something that if I put in a little time, it will show, right? In the season where I am right now, I need that, right? So for me right now, in this phase of my life, having locks just makes the most sense. Now if you are in a different season of your life, or maybe for one reason or the other, you know, having loose natural hair will be better. Maybe when I get older and I want to have very short hair, I believe that having loose natural hair will be better, because I just love how TWAs, like teeny weeny afros, look when it's like loose, right? So I may look into like going back to my loose natural hair, but for now, what makes sense the most to me is having locks. That will come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you guys like to see the products I use for my hair, I sell all of that on my website. I also yes, we are also on Amazon. For those of you who do not know, all my products are now available on Amazon. So if you live in the US and you like shopping on Amazon, you can get all my products on Amazon with free Amazon shipping. Like, how amazing is that? If you're not in the US, or even if you're in the US, you can still shop on my website. I'll put the link down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video.